And suddenly, I felt nothing. I couldn't cry. So once again, I couldn't sleep.
I think there's probably multiple reasons. At the start, when these things first started invading our skies in large numbers, we were scared. It was right after World War II, and we didn't know what they were, and they didn't want to panic the public, and that was probably a good call. Over time, I think the lying sort of became institutionalized, you know. Flights over Washington, D.C. in 1952, they're seen, they're captured on radar, jets are chased after these objects, and then we get an explanation it was a temperature inversion. And those kind of lies have been told for a long time. What was told to me by an investigator from Congress, a guy named Richard D'Amato, who was sent after this story by Robert Byrd and Harry Reid, he believed that this program, reverse engineering, etc., was had been moved inside these corporations. And he said, when this comes out, people are going to go to prison. And he meant people who were basically misusing legitimate national security funds, tens of billions of dollars, in order to keep this cover-up going. I also believe there's a legitimate reason for the cover-up in that there is undeniable connection of national security involved in this technology. If we are racing for it to master that technology against the Russians and the Chinese, which is what I have been told by Senator Reid and many others, then it is a race that's critical to our survival. There could be a form of disclosure, I think. Yes, it's real, it's from somewhere else, without revealing all the details that would allow someone else to have an advantage in the race for this technology.
So this is something I feel like, if I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
If I was the president...
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
The moment I was inaugurated, my hand it'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and the UFOs, and I'd go through everything to find out what happened.
Right.
Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president. Because that's the first thing that you would do.
It's at
the aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
All right.
Estábamos mirando el cielo cuando de repente. ¿Serán ovnis?
Could not go upstairs to take a look at this object because of security concerns, keeping that capsule secure, that underground capsule, because if we had been overtaken by some terrorist group, they could have had access to those weapons. Yeah, none of those gentlemen that were up there, the security guards, have come forward. I haven't been able to contact them. A lot of them I know were sent to Vietnam because they were weapons qualified. The Air Force has a tendency to disperse witnesses whenever they can after something like this.
Put them in a different town, give different job.
Yes.
and they do that all over the country, so they kind of, you know, people
Yeah.
don't talk to each other.
Exactly. So we were relieved the next morning. I went upstairs and talked to that guard, security guard that I'd been in contact with by phone. I asked him to tell me again what he saw, and at first he didn't want to talk to me. I finally had to pull rank, but I think he was already told that he can't talk to anybody about this, including us. We were ordered back to the base. They sent a helicopter out for us, helicoptered back, ordered to our squadron commander's office, who, by the way, was an old B-17 pilot, World War II, old salt of the earth guy, Colonel George Eldridge. We walk into his office. The first thing I say is, was this some kind of an Air Force exercise? You know, testing our reaction.
That would be the most likely scenario.
Yeah. He said, absolutely not.
What I'm looking at here is a light on South Mountain. You can see this light flickering over our mountain over here. Now we're looking at a light that's now appeared again. It's come out in a different place. Definitely far away, South Mountain. There's two of them. Here, we finally hit pay dirt. Now we've got two of them in the sky on South Mountain. South Mountain. Figure this one out. There's a double. There's a third one. Hey, Sue. All right, you tell me what it is. Oh, what do we got? Hey, Sue! Take a look at this.
Oh my God.
I hit pay dirt. Finally. Submitted for your approval. What have we got here? This is South Mountain. That's the city in front of us. Those lights have appeared.
Well, that is a totally different configuration than we've ever seen before.
Yep. I'm sitting over here saying to myself, I got the camera. Oh, now that one went out to the
That one went off
to the left.
To the east. Yeah.
To the east. The time is about 10 o'clock, Sue?
Yes.
10 o'clock, March 13th, Thursday night.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Look at that. And they all went on in a sequence, too. Now, the thing that puzzles me is they can't be ordinary street lights. They're going off now, right?
Yeah.
One drop.
went off.
The thing that's amazing is that it must be so bright that they would carry, because we're looking at about 25 miles away. The middle one now.
There one. Oh,
The two,
another one.
there's another one.
Yep,
last
there
one.
goes one.
We got the last one left. Still burning.
And usually we've seen them over.
It's gone.
Oh, there it comes.
We're now looking at the same scene that we were looking at the nighttime. I'll give you the angle, an idea of the surroundings and what we saw at night, and the mountains where the lights appeared to be. They appear to be to the left, I'm sorry, to the right and below the largest peak you see there, which is at an elevation of 4,512 feet. The city in front, the contour of the mountain in the foreground, as you can see in the silhouette in the previous night shots. That peak, the highest peak, is 27 miles from our point here.
So we've been seeing lights in the sky, flying right over the facility. Can't make out any kind of control surfaces or any engines. There's no engine noise. There's simply lights in the sky, doing very odd maneuvers, like flying extremely fast, stopping on a dime, reversing course, making 90-degree turns. And he kept repeating, "These are not aircraft, sir. They're not aircraft." This was a serious report. He wasn't trying to pull a joke or a hoax or anything. I said, "You mean like UFOs?" Because I brought that up because we had actually had reports in the Great Falls Tribune in the city of Great Falls.
Okay.
We'd had reports of people reporting lights in the sky. He said, "Sir, they are not aircraft." I repeat, he kept repeating that. I said, "Okay, well, thank you for your report." And I basically ended the call. I didn't know what else to do with that call. 5 minutes later, he calls back. This time he is very agitated. He's frightened. I can tell by his voice he's quite frightened. He's babbling, yelling into the phone. I try to calm him down, and finally he says, "Sir, I've got all the guards out. Their weapons are pointed at this reddish-orange object that's hovering right above the front gate."
My videos, you should see the picture I got on here.
Because you can enlarge it right there, right?
Oh yeah.
So, you don't see what it is with the enlargement?
It just looks like a ball.
Yeah.
Come see it on my phone. Oh, where to go?
Too bad I don't have my fucking binoculars with me.
Yeah.
I got a strong pair of binoculars.
That's giving off a lot of light.
Yeah. Camera. Is it camera or video? Camera. Camera, and then...
I'm gonna zoom in again. The highway don't...
Here we go, different format. I pulled out just a little bit to show the Hellfire making contact with the UAP. This is a much different format. And we're going to zoom in a little bit closer, take a couple of looks at the Hellfire making impact. It does indeed impact what appears to be the back half of this unknown object flying off the coast of Yemen. Right there it makes impact. You can see it knocks it off course. And as you're going to see, somehow or another, right there following the impact, these three objects appear in the sky following the primary object right there. So the primary target turned into not only one, but four targets now. There's 1, 2, 3, now 4. It survived the strike. And the gentleman that testified before Congress said, nothing that we have should have survived that strike. And it turned into 4, 3 smaller ones, and then the main primary one continued on. This one here turned out pretty good. You can see that these things are the same shape and same size. Look at that. And this one here started to glow for whatever reason, almost as if it had some sort of an energy field around it. Maybe it was some sort of a propulsion system. This one here started glowing, and then that one there started glowing. The smaller things you see are reflections off the top of the water. Those things definitely had density. Let me go back to that one right there. That one right there turned out pretty good. You can see those things clearly are the same shape. Those aren't random pieces of debris, guys. So whatever that missile impacted, it didn't seem to affect it hardly at all.
Of a law office building in Anchorage, Alaska, allegedly. This video shows an unknown man confronting the desk worker, Nicole, the only person there at that moment. The video continues to show what seems to be her telling the man to leave. He speaks and she reacts by pulling the office firearm. He then makes a motion with his hand, to which she responds by emptying the clip, retrieving a camera from her purse, and leaving, never to be seen again. Does anyone know more about this?
Pero nada supera la sorpresa de hallar un lugar arqueológico destruido con dinamita.
Es un recinto funerario. ¿Esto es lo que tú dices que fue dinamitado?
Así es como los lugareños. Aquí los lugareños siempre lo conocen o es conocido como las cuevas.
Ya.
Y como te dije de un comienzo, en realidad toda esta parte de esta estructura prácticamente estaba unida con la otra. Todo tenía sombra. Y de esa manera prácticamente toda esta zona estaba protegida de la temperatura del sol. Todo se vino abajo, ahí todavía se veían las huellas. Hace unos 7, 8 años todavía he visto la huella de ahí de la dinamita que le han podido poner, ¿no?
Pero qué negligencia, Leo. ¿Cómo pueden haber hecho dinamitado un lugar arqueológico? ¿Qué bestia?
Bueno, en esos tiempos tú sabes que...
¿Cuánto tiempo?
Aproximadamente 25 a 30 años.
Bueno, la dinamita no se consigue en supermercados. Su venta está reglamentada y para remover tantas toneladas de roca se debió comprar bastante explosivo. Claro, siempre existe el mercado negro. Pero a esto debemos sumar un detalle clave. Aquí se halló el cuerpo de una momia con una forma diferente, algo nada común.
Se recuperó una momia, dices.
Sí, pero ¿a dónde estará? Pero ahora y se argumenta que no era una momia común. O sea, no es de las momias que normalmente nosotros hemos podido divisar. Era una momia totalmente diferente.
¿Cómo qué? ¿Diferente por qué?
Porque no era, o sea, no solamente por los hallazgos, sino tenía otra forma. Y entonces, pero en realidad nunca se llegó a ver también la forma de la momia. Solamente es parte de lo que dicen los lugareños, que era una momia totalmente diferente y de que de cierta manera había cantidad de restos de minerales o oros que habían encontrado en esta zona.
Esa momia diferente podría ser similar a María, la polémica momia de 3 dedos que custodia e investiga en la Universidad de Ica desde 2019 y que ha sido rechazada visceralmente por la ciencia oficial sin haberla analizado siquiera. Esta momia nada común podría ser la evidencia de que bajo la tierra existió otra especie que alternó con los humanos, tal vez. Esto me huele a encubrimiento. Creo que la logística y la gran inversión para volar en pedazos un lugar arqueológico de esas proporciones no fue para saquearlo, sino para sepultarlo, y no fueron los modestos vecinos del desierto. Aquí me pregunto, ¿habrá otros lugares similares que han sido dinamitados? ¿Quiénes están detrás de la destrucción de zonas arqueológicas con total impunidad?
Esta es la entrada a la cueva.
¿Ah?
Esa es la entrada a la cueva, ahí están las escaleras.
Escalera. Pero está cayendo el relleno, ¿eh? Hay una escalera ahí que va hacia abajo.
Para que veas el tamaño de los escalones, los que bajaban ahí no eran muy pequeños. Mira cómo es este corte perfecto de un cuarto.
Claro, esa era una recámara, una habitación, el pasadizo de unas escaleras, ¿no?
Y por acá se ingresaba.
Pero los lugareños hablan de ese pasadizo. De aquí había un pasadizo. Algunos hablan de 3 metros, 7 metros que había entrado.
Pero era una construcción subterránea entonces.
Claro. Y si te das cuenta, hacia acá abajo es un pasadizo.
Sí, pero ha sido cubierto, pues, ¿no?
Así es, como si tuviera un techo.
Sí, este es el techo.
Y los lugareños de aquí cuentan de que debajo hay un pasadizo subterráneo. Eso es lo que argumentan.
Ya.
Quienes construyeron este recinto con acceso subterráneo decoraron sus paredes de piedra, desde animales de la fauna marina hasta enigmáticos diseños.
Parece como una orca o un ser marino, pero con una cabeza que parece de felino.
Sí, totalmente diferente.
Y una mano tridáctil.
Bueno, esto lo llegué a divisar más o menos en el año 99. En el 99 lo llegué yo a divisar. Lo interesante es que si estás viendo, ahí vamos a ver mira, algunos grafitis.
Son fósiles de coral, pues esto estuvo en el fondo del mar.
La noche estaba por llegar, pero nuestra jornada estaba lejos de terminar.
September, a meteor crashed in Panama. This TikToker, Kin Panama, documented this. First off, I want to say thanks to Kin for giving us the opportunity to see this firsthand and documenting it so clearly. You know, this man has a well-standing profile. He posts about normal things for years and all of a sudden starts posting this footage. I don't have any reason to believe it's AI. What started to grow off of this meteor had life reactions to it, or has life reactions to it. It moves. It's not feeding off anything. It's not getting air. He's kept it in the dark for the most part. He has put it out in the sun. It doesn't seem to affect it. The crash site here is what's really got my attention. It glows phosphorescently or luminescently rather around the site, which is interesting because we find all this luminescent and phosphorescent stuff out of Mexico, and you know it's not something that's common in our world, so it's very interesting to see it in this fashion with no blacklight stimulation whatsoever. I would be curious to see what a blacklight would do to this area for sure. So as he continued, you know, every day posting the progress of what this thing's doing, he's posted, you know, dozens of videos. I think there's close to 20 videos of this. I'm posting some here to bring awareness to this, to try to get people to go to TikTok and follow this man, to keep up with this. You know, a lot of people reached out to him and asked for, you know, biological samples so they could put it into the lab and see what the heck we're dealing with. You know, the curiosity is very high on this. However, I feel that the danger is also very high if that's the case. He thought it was a plant to begin with. And here we are, you know, as it continues to grow and he continues to post it, they're starting to call it venom. It looks like a black something, you know, black goo of some form, but it's got definite life form.
It moves, and you know, it was just staying on the meteor and you know, flexing its little tentacles and things of that nature for many days. He started to take samples for scientists. He had the bravery to go in and start cutting these things and creating these samples in these jars, which seem to still have life form. They could be like clones. They may regrow or regenerate. The fact that it's not eating and provides such a life form is very interesting. You know, when the meteor came out, before anything was growing off of it, he had a plant on his desk, and it literally killed the leaf that it touched, and or that it was close to. And so he did multiple other tests and showed us that this thing just literally will eat the biological material and burn it up. So as you can see, this thing continues to grow, and this is after he's taken samples off of it. Quite bizarre. I really am speechless. However, doing the work that I do, I know there's a lot of disclosure issues. You can see it with our congressional hearings. You can see it with the Nazca mummies finally making it to certain mainstream profiles like Jesse Michaels and Joe Rogan. People are starting to take the Nazca mummies more seriously. I don't know how to even take this. The fact he's touching this with his hand here, it creeps me out, to be honest. I mean, this needs to be in a very secure area. This could be an invasive species. You know, scientists have predicted that certain octopus and life forms on Earth, they just showed up here one day. They feel that they may have came by meteor or asteroid, which in this case, I mean, it's it is what it is. You can see the thing has separated itself from the meteor. It is now a functional life form. Still seems to be gripping onto it, but has detached itself also. So I don't know if the ambient radiation, gamma rays, electromagnetic frequencies, whatever this thing's producing that killed the plants, could be feeding the life form here. I'll be anxious to see what the scientists come up with that he's shipping it to. I pray for all of their safety. I pray for our safety on this, as it could be an invasive species that we are unaware of, and he may have just cloned it dozens of times and sent it all over the world, making it, you know, potentially something that could cause us a threat. Seeing how fast it grows, the fact it got off of the tray in the safe, closed in there, moved the glass lid off of there, and moving the meteor around, it's obviously got some strength already, which is insane to me. So I highly recommend that you go follow this account, Kin Panama, and tell him thank you for at least giving us the opportunity to try to understand this. I feel it's a huge warning to us all, considering we've been seeing the things that we've been seeing with drones and UAPs, or whatever you want to call these flying orbs and different things over the White House, over assassination attempts, all over the place. China, Russia, Bolivia, Colombia, I see it everywhere. Mexico for sure, you know, and obviously we see depictions of a lot of this stuff on the pieces from Mexico. Not this specifically though. This one here definitely takes the cake, and I'll keep up on it as well, because there's not really any Instagram coverage of it, and we'll go from there. Say a prayer for this man and for us as a society, because this thing looks like the real deal. Until next time.
What in the... I'm recording it. What the hell is that?